Hey everyone, it is I are Smart. Anyway, today I'm going to be doing another video where I complain about Star Wars, because that is what I do best. So if you don't want to hear me complain about Star Wars, then you can just leave, I guess. Okay, are you gone now? Good. So anyway, I don't usually listen to rumors and stuff, and that sort of thing. But there have been a lot of rumors going around about Star Wars, and a lot of people have been saying that Disney is considering deleting the sequel trilogy. Now, for a lot of people, they get really excited about this idea. So, I personally fall into the group. I've already explained my opinions on Star Wars. And, I recently rewatched the sequel trilogy, and, now I've come to kind of appreciate parts of it. There's still a lot of things I don't like, but the sequels overall, they're pretty alright. But there is a very, very large group of Star Wars fans that absolutely despise the sequel trilogy and wish it never had existed. And I can kind of agree with them on a couple points, but not everything. So anyway, I was originally hesitant to believing this rumor, because people are just, I assumed it was just them with wishful thinking, like, oh, dang, wouldn't it be nice if Disney just got rid of it? But I've been seeing it pop up a lot of other places too. A lot more people are talking about it. So yeah, there's definitely a good chance now that sequel trilogy might just go away. Kathleen Kennedy, another rumor I heard was she might be going away. But again, these are all rumors. Take everything with a grain of salt. I don't usually follow rumors, and I'm not the best informant on this. It's just something I kind of heard. So, the sequel trilogy might go away forever. And that's kind of weird, because I'm just now starting to appreciate it. However, there's one big thing I don't like in the sequel trilogy. Something I have a love-hate relationship with. And that is the main character, Rey. I am not saying Skywalker because that is stupid. So Rey is like the main character. And, there's a certain word that people use to describe her character because of how overpowered she is. I'm not going to say that word because it usually gets people very upset. So anyway, she's a really weird character, and she's usually the main point of contention. Contention? Yeah. People usually fight over her character the most in the sequel trilogy because it's just weird. She just seems so good at everything all of a sudden, and she always just wins. And it's just not that convincing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about why Rey is a poorly written character. That's it. I have nothing against Rey. I have nothing against Daisy Ridley. If anything, I think Daisy Ridley did a really good performance. I actually kind of like Rey's character. Not at all, because I have a crush on it. I totally don't have a crush on her. That's not anyway, so basically, her character is pretty good character. I found her, pretty decent. It's alright. She's still entertaining to watch. She does a good performance as Rey, but overall, I think the most problem is just in how she's written. So this isn't anything about Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley is great. Just the writers are bad. Because, in the whole sequel trilogy, she doesn't really undergo, any character development. In the first one, she's just wondering who her parents are. The second one, she's wondering who her parents are. The third one, she wonders who they are, finds out that they are Palpatines, except kind of, sort of, and then she still doesn't change. She just goes and kills Palpatine, and, at the end of the sequel trilogy, at the end of 9, she's pretty much the same as she was at the beginning of 7. She doesn't change at all. She doesn't learn anything. And still, in 7, when we first see her, she's out a scavenger in the desert. First time she tries flying something, bam, she can fly the Millennium Falcon. First time she tries shooting a blaster, bam, she can shoot a blaster. She misses 2 shots, but on the third shot, bam, she hits, and she kills a stormtrooper, and then she just goes around shooting for the rest of the movie. And, first time she tries to use the Force, she does that successfully. She gets into Kylo Ren's head and then does a mind trick. And then also she's just good at lightsaber skills, which she's, I guess that one we can kind of, she was fighting with a staff and stuff, so she's trained in melee fighting, I guess. So, it's not totally implausible that she go to lightsaber. But the fact that she could best someone who was specifically trained in lightsaber fighting, i.e. Kylo Ren, it's a bit far-fetched. Now, I have no problem with there being a female protagonist. There are a lot of great female protagonists in Star Wars, mainly Padme and Leia. They are great female protagonists. And they're great, strong female characters, whatever, that whole thing. I'm not going to get into that. Rey is a good, role model, I guess. Except, she's not. Because she doesn't go through any struggles. She doesn't have anything she has to overcome. She just has everything handed to her, and she just does everything. Like, you have nothing to, relate to her. Besides, unless it's like, oh, Rey's a girl, and this person's a girl, you guys have something in common. Good job, we made a role model for little girls that like Star Wars. It's like, no, there's nothing to relate to. The great thing about characters in movies is that they go through struggles in the movie, and you can relate to them. You can be like, hey, this character in the movie is struggling with this. I struggle with that. I relate to this character, therefore I like this character more. If you can't relate to a character, it's hard to like them. The main problem I have with Rey is that she just doesn't struggle with anything. Like, through all of 7, she's just the same. Like, the only thing she struggles with is, oh, I don't know who my parents are, boo-hoo. Like, I don't know, it's not very, I guess some people could relate to that, but still, it's not really a struggle. She doesn't really go through any conflict with that. She kind of just gets over it and moves on. And then, in 8, she's still looking for her parents, for whatever reason. She has this whole mirror sequence. That's a weird thing. I don't know why they put that in there. And then, she tries to get training from Luke Skywalker. Luke doesn't even train her, and she just leaves. It's like, okay. I don't know what the point of that was. And then in 9, we see her training with Leia, where she's, floating rocks and stuff, and then just, training in the forest, I think. She was, running and stuff. I don't know. So I guess that was them trying to be like, oh, look, she's training. She's totally not a Mary Sue. Oh, God. Yeah, guys, right? Are we good now? Do we fix our mistakes in 7 and 8? Please, guys, like me. Please. So yeah, it's just weird. And then throughout that, she's trying to, commune with the dead Jedi. She wants to talk to them for some reason. And at the end of the movie, she gets that. So that's her character development. She can talk to dead Jedi now. That's cool. But, still, the only character development she goes through is, kind of, I originally thought when she had the whole thing where she, electrocutes the ship and it blows up, and she's like, oh, crud, it just killed Chewbacca. I was like, oh, finally. Rey did something wrong. She can now learn from her mistake, and that'll add character development to her. I was like, finally, we get some actual impactful character development for this character. But we don't, because we later find out that that didn't mean anything. They never go back to it. She used the dark side, but it's just like, whatever, Also because Chewbacca's just alive, so there's no repercussions. Personally, I would have preferred it if in that scene Chewbacca would have been in that ship and he would have died. Because, as much as it would suck to have Chewbacca die, it would actually have something impactful. Rey would now have this weight on her shoulders of, oh crud, I used the dark side, and because of that, someone I care about got hurt, i.e. Chewbacca. And now he's dead. That would put a lot of weight on her shoulders and give her a more reason to resist the dark side, other than, I'm a good person, I shouldn't use the dark side. It's the most basic thing, okay, here's good guy character, here's bad guy character. Good guy character does good things because they are good, bad guy does bad things because they are bad. Now they fight, good guy wins, and bad guy is dead. That's the plot of 9 for you. Palpatine has no motivation other than, I'm Palpatine. That's literally his motivation. Rey's motivation is, I'm Rey, and I'm the good character. And so she goes and defeats Palpatine. And also that fight was so boring. Literally, it was nothing. It was Palpatine just going like this. Rey's like, haha, I got one lightsaber. Guess what? I got 2 lightsabers. Pew! And now Palpatine's dead for sure this time. Even though this is the second time he's died, but whatever. The whole fight was just so boring. Also, it literally gave me epilepsy. Seriously, just every scene on Exegol is just flashing lights. It's like, JJ, chill out, alright? I don't need to have that. Palpatine's just trying to talk, and it's just like, oh, ooh, I'm so scary. Ooh. Exegol, Sith, ooh. It's bad. Yeah, I'm getting off topic. That's just more problems with 9, but still, like, Rey. And then, after she does this, she just dies. Kylo revives her, and now she's alive. Great. And now we look. Rey, at the end of episode 9, has undergone pretty much no character development than she was at 7. Besides the fact that she now knows that her parents were... Her dad was the son of Palpatine. That's it. And she's kind of maybe a little bit better at using the Force and a lightsaber than she was before. But still, even most of that change actually happens in 7. Like, she learns how to use the Force and a lightsaber in 7. She never improves that skill throughout any of them. Like, every time she fought Kylo Ren twice with a lightsaber, both times she beat him. They didn't really fight in 8. They kind of just fought with each other, like, against the other guys that were in the room. But yeah, it was this whole thing. I don't know. Rey, I have no problem with Rey. She's great. She's just alright. However, she's just written poorly. Like, you can't relate to her, and she's just there. She's just like, she just does whatever the plot needs to happen. It's like, oh crud. In episode 7, it's like, oh no, we have the First Order trying to take over the galaxy. And Rey's like, don't worry, I'm here, I'll stop the First Order. And then same thing in 8, it's like, oh god, Snoke's here now, he's gonna blow up what's left of the Resistance. And Rey's like, don't worry, I'm here, I'll go fight with Kylo Ren, and we'll take out Snoke together. And then, she goes down to the planet, it's like, alright, Kylo Ren's trying to attack us. Don't worry, I'll fly in the Millennium Falcon and save everybody. And also use the Force to lift a bunch of rocks and get them out of the cave safe. And then we'll all go away and be happy. And then 9, it's like, oh no, Palpatine's back. Don't worry, I'll go find the thingamawhatsit and save everybody by finding another thingamawhatsit that leads me to Palpatine. Then I can defeat him. Yay. She doesn't do anything because she wants to. She does everything because the plot needs her to. It's just boring. It's boring writing, and that's, I think, why a lot of people don't like the sequels. There's really no motivation for any of the characters. They're just doing things because the writers are like, it'd be really cool if we had a scene where Palpatine was shooting lightning and Rey was deflecting it. So let's just write the entire movie to lead up to that. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things I like in the sequel trilogy. The characters are pretty good. Like, just if you just ignore the writing, they're pretty fun. I think Rey, Poe, and Finn had a nice dynamic in episode 9. That was one of my favorite parts. Anything that comes out of Palpatine's mouth is just gold, because Ian McDiarmid is amazing. However, I think all the scenes were kind of stupid, mostly because of the flashy lighting. And yeah, so, I don't know, there's some of the things I like and dislike about the sequel trilogy. Overall, I think it's good. I don't think it's worth being deleted. I hope they don't delete it. I think that'd be kind of dumb and really cheap for Disney. Because if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it just so they can redo the sequel trilogy. They're gonna be like, okay, so over here is the fake sequel trilogy, and over here is the real sequel trilogy. Now come in theaters and give us money for 3 more Star Wars movies. Because that's what Disney is gonna do. They just want more money. That's why they bought Star Wars, just to make more money off it. They're like, what? Okay, so we could just sit here on these 3 movies with all our money that we made, or we can make 3 more movies and tell people that they're better than these bad ones, and they'll all come give us more money for these ones. Y'all know that's what Disney's doing. If these rumors end up being true, that's 100% what Disney's going to do. They're just going to make a new trilogy. I'm getting off track. Anyway, my point is that Rey just should have been written better. I think she deserved better. Daisy Ridley has received a lot of hate, I think, from the people just like, oh, you're such a dumb character. It's like, why you ain't mad at her? She didn't do anything. She just played what she was given. Like, the writers were like, here, say this. She said that. That's what actors do. If you want to blame a character for being bad, blame the writers. The writers are very crucial in a movie. If the writers write bad things, it's their fault. It's not the actors. Don't blame the actors. Same thing happened to Kelly Marie Tran. She was the character that played Rose. Rose was a terribly written character, like even worse than Rey. Because she just does things that don't make any sense, and she says stupid lines. Like, it's not about fighting what we hate, It's saving what we love. That's the stupidest line then in the Star Wars movie ever. Anyway, yeah, don't blame her for saying that line. Blame the writers for writing that line. I'm sorry. This is what happens when I go on tangents about Star Wars. I just go way off track of what I originally meant to talk about. So, I don't know if anyone's going to watch this video, or has anyone actually made it to this point. But yeah, my final point, I really wish that Rey would have been written better. That's all I have to say. If you did watch to the end, thank you very much. I don't know how anyone could actually suffer through me ranting about Star Wars, but, you know, maybe somebody will. So if you did make it this far, let me know in the comments and say, hey, Smart, I actually enjoy you making videos about Star Wars. And if you didn't make it this far in the video, then write a comment saying, hey, Smart, stop complaining. We don't want to hear you complain anymore. That's all you gotta do. Anyway, bye everybody. That's really all I had for today, so see you next week.